Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of Little Witch Academia Episode 7. Now this one, coming off a sort of negative review last week, I really don't want to say that this is my favorite episode, but it is up there honestly. I really enjoyed this one. So yeah, let's talk about it part by part. I actually have 2 pages of notes this week, so I'm not sure how long it'll take me to talk about this one. So yeah, I'll go through it. First up, the first scene, we have a magical law class, and Akko had me dying. Akko was everyone. Is this going to be on the test? And then just the awkward silence. And what really killed me was Lotte's reaction face. Her reaction to that, I was laughing about that scene well into the opening credits. So that was just a really good starting scene. And we see that Akko now, again, people complaining every week, no development. Akko is now developed into working really hard to try to be like Chariot. I do not understand at this point in the series, especially, it's a 24 episode series and we're only, 7 episodes in, but even beyond that, we have been getting good development for Akko. I do not get that complaint, especially at this point. So then we have wife Diana can make my tea any day. I mean, she looked pretty click in just that one scene. Then we have Akko. She's at least using magic now. I know a lot of people complained that she wasn't using magic enough, but she's using it now. She's bad at it, but even then she's not actually terrible. She does a few things pretty well. And Ursula, of course, needs to get Akko good enough for exams. And man, as well, I will say, Ursula is possibly best girl. I think, it's so difficult to choose. Akko and Diana are both great. Susie and Amanda and Constance are also great. Maybe even more great. I don't know. I like Amanda and Susie a lot. But I don't know. Ursula may be best girl. It is so hard to judge. There are so many waifus. And then the first exam was the bird language exam. Another scene that had me dying, where it's just this bird cawing and everybody writing stuff down. I was done. And Akko got a C on it. I love when Hannah and Barbara read her test, and they were like, "I'm hungry, caw. I want some food, caw." I was so done. Then the next test was white magic, and Akko, her creepy face while doing her spell was very funny. And Lotte, we find out, is actually really great at magical repairs, and that she's actually going to Luna Nova sort of majoring in magic item maintenance. So fixing magical items fixing items using magic is her major, is what she's going for. So I just think it's so interesting to find out more about characters like that. Then Akko starts researching the alumni and what their majors were. We have the broom flying test, and wife Amanda, who gets a C because she does not follow the rules. And I love the lunch scene just with Akko and all of her friends. I love the cast of this series. Constance and Amanda are great. As Jasminka is their third roommate. She's great as well. Lotte, I'm really coming around to like more and more, and Susie is always hilarious. So then we have culinary magics exam, and Jasminka is good at it. Then we have the alchemy exam, of course, and Constance is good at it. And Akko, of course, has funny scenes, halfway failing at both of them, sort of fully failing, really. She did make an explosion at the alchemy exam. Then we have the astrology exam, and Diana is good at it. And Diana, prophesizes? She is surprised at what she sees in the stars or whatever. And she sees that Akko is going to be leaving Luna Nova, so then Akko gets into a fight. We find out the final exam is going to be magic philosophy, and I was so done when she's just like, "Oh, it's just self-study or whatever," and everybody keeps staring at this goldfish, and they're like, "Oh, that's Pisces Sensei," and she's like, "What?" And the teacher was a fish the entire time. Then, of course, she has her pre-exam freak out. I feel like many of us have been there. And then I think the scene, even more than the opening scene, the scene that I was losing it at most is when she seemingly kills Pisces Sensei and drops her down the drain. And when she was screaming, I was losing it. I was completely dying at that scream. Oh my gosh, it was such a perfect scene. And then friggin' Susie Abesto, where she's like, oh, she killed a teacher. Things are starting to get interesting now. I loved that so much. And then they tell Ursula to cover for them, and they all run to the sewers and turn into fish themselves. Now let me check page... Let's move on to page 2. I still have more things that I wrote down about this episode. Then we have... I love when Ursula makes the fake, like, lore fish, and she's, like, pretending to be, the Pisces Sensei. And again, I don't know if it killed me as much as when Akko was screaming about possibly killing the teacher, but when Ursula was hiding behind the thing, and what was it, Baku, that she kept saying to make the bubble noises, and when the other teacher came in delivering the papers, and she's just like, Baku, 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 I was dying when she was just making bubble noises trying to be a fish. So Akko's group actually help a lost fish find its family in a trap, and Pisces is there too, luckily. Akko uses her last spell to save them, and then when they get back to Luna Nova, Akko can now apparently speak fish pretty well. Pisces then gives an A on the final exam for using her last piece of magic. She's a philosophy teacher, of course, for using her last bit of magic while she was out there to save someone in need. So she gives her an A for that. Ursula also stands up for Akko and her growing and learning more with as she goes along throughout the series and actually getting better at magic. We see the environmental agency calls and thanks Luna Nova for taking care of the fish poachers. And we see that Akko's group, because they did technically try to cheat, and including Ursula, they have to stay with, I believe her name is Finneran. They have to stay with Finneran as punishment. So yeah, this was such a good episode. Like I said, my favorite so far. I can't believe it's only been 7 minutes that I've been talking about this. But we had a great focus on magic, and a really good focus on character development as well. Ursula, best wife possibly, and I thought it was hilarious. I'm struggling with with if I want to give it a perfect score or not. The only thing that's keeping me from potentially giving it a perfect score is that there were a few scenes where the animation was really hit and miss. Like a lot of the scenes when they were fish and stuff seemed really jumpy, and I know that this is something Trigger likes to take a lot of chances and try a lot of unique things, and usually it looks really nice, like with pretty much all of Kill la Kill and with most of how Little Witch Academia has looked. But there were some scenes this episode that seemed a little bit still and jumpy, like it was a bunch of still frames that jump between each other, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that animation technique. So I'm just so close to giving it a perfect score because it was so funny, but I don't know. I'm gonna give it very, very close to perfect. 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 fish teachers out of 10. Man, I really, really enjoyed this episode. And I hope you enjoyed the episode and my review on it as well. So if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Some of you may not have thought it was as funny or enjoyable as I did, but I thought it was great. And there was good magic and character development in there as well, which is what pretty much everybody has been asking for more of. Even the people who, like me, say it's already there, still want more of it, and we got more of it. Sub for more Little Witch Academia, Yojo Senki, Demi-chan, Wakitaritai, the Maid Dragon, a ton of other anime, manga, and other things on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. Share the video if you want, and I'll see you all next time.